We should then also talk about the outrage that we're seeing around a new platform called Wildfire, because it is a prediction market specifically focused on wildfires in California, and its slogan is, "You can't predict fire, but you can trade on it." And you have it positioning itself as a new way to monitor and track fire behavior, with its site explaining, "Prediction markets harness the wisdom of crowds to surface what models and satellites might miss. Wildfire turns collective intelligence into better wildfire forecasting, one trade at a time." And it has a map of hotspots and ongoing fires, and allows you to wager on whether or not more acres will burn in a certain period of time. And while in its fine print, it does note that right now these wagers aren't real money, it's simulated trading, multiple reports say that the ability to bet with real money is in fact coming soon. And that's prompted a ton of concern, because even though betting on storms and weather isn't new, fire, it's not like rain or wind. Someone can start a fire. In fact, if you look into it, the vast majority of wildfires are caused by humans, at least in some way. And so you had a spokesperson for the US Forest Service saying, "Systems that tie financial gain to wildfire outcomes risk encouraging misuse, including arson, and are not compatible with our mission." And then they also sort of dismissed its use as a forecasting resource, saying the Forest Service does not use information from prediction markets for wildfire forecasting, and we do not rely on any system that treats wildfire as an event for speculation. Which I will say, I feel insane even having to repeat, because yeah, it feels like an idea so ridiculous and so stupid that it's actually social commentary about what prediction markets actually are. Though also, I do want to know, like, while this platform, it claims to be the first service specifically for trading just on California wildfires, this is not the first time that people have wagered on them. Or you might have seen that there was a ton of controversy last year when the fires in LA, they burned down thousands of people's homes and killed dozens of people. And that's because on Polymarket, you could bet on how far those fires would spread, what neighborhoods the fires would reach, and when they would be contained, and more. And so then with that, you had op-eds popping up accusing the site of gamifying the pain and suffering of living, breathing human beings. And actually at the time, Polymarket took a similar angle to what Wildfire is doing now, insisting that the prediction markets can be used as tools, explaining these markets address the same questions being discussed across cable news and X. "We've proven that prediction markets can be an invaluable alternative information source for those seeking real-time quantitative data." But then with that, you had people pushing back, instead of just saying what I would say of, "Stop lying, you fucking lying idiots." Instead, you had the LA Times talking to the director of USC's Center for Ethical Leadership and Decision-Making, who said, "I have a hard time imagining that people are logging on to Polymarket to decide whether or not to evacuate." And he also said that it opens doors to tons of other issues. Because of course, there's the incentive to start fires, and then on top of that, it could lead to a callous attitude toward others suffering. If we are gamifying life and death issues, it could really negatively influence culture and society in a way we don't like. And then also the timing here is wild, because it is currently fire season, and it could actually be a pretty bad one. In the spring, experts warn that the record-breaking snow drought in some areas of the state, it could lead to a worsened fire season, as there's gonna be less snow melt and moisture to protect the land. And then on top of that, there was record-breaking heat in March, meaning that vegetation started growing early and then drying out weeks ahead of schedule. So then what do you know? The season came ahead of schedule, with fires burning thousands of acres across Southern California in May. But then also, because we have an El Nino event heading California's way this year, the rest of the fire season's kind of up in the air. And honestly, like, this is my take. I think the only prediction market regarding fires like this that I would support would be to bet the over on how many of the people that work for and support Wildfire die in a wildfire. That could then maybe be some market manipulation I could get behind, right? No, I'm just joking, legally speaking.